Okay, this is for new viewers in May 2024. Okay, this channel, a couple things to know about it. It is not monetized. There's nothing here for my old viewers. You're going to know all this stuff already. But for the new viewers, it has no sponsors, doesn't promote any products. My nickname sort of is Spartan Vegan originally, bad boy of veganism because I talk about toxicology, but medical monk lately because I have this book right here. I'm making the book's all available for free. I'm doing all the chapters of it. The Medical Reformation book. I got it my haircut like Martin Luther, starting to grow back. But anyways, yeah, I also talk about religion. So if you don't like that, then too bad. Go somewhere else. Because I think that you can't fix healthcare until you address the issues about ethics. And currently, for example, I'm hearing that in Canada, when teenagers are depressed, they sometimes tell them, well, why don't you just go for MAID, medical assistance in dying? They encourage them to commit suicide. I'm not kidding you. They're encouraging people to commit suicide. They call it euthanasia. If they're elderly, if they're disabled, if they have severe poverty or they're homeless. And what I'm trying to say is that's what you end up with when you don't have Bible-based ethics. Okay, man's created in the image of God. Therefore, the individual is of high value, and you don't just go for the money. Because there's too much money to be made by ripping people off, that you'll never have good health care unless you have that. Believe me, I've been in the medical business my whole life in a sense. I came from a family of doctors. I've been a doctor over 30 years. I know what goes down, okay? Let's see. We talk mostly about nutrition and toxicology, but we'll often talk about art, literature, music, philosophy, and also religion, current events. I think all those things are relevant. Basically, I talk about whatever I feel like. It's just a hobby. Okay, I don't make any money with this site, but I like it, and I think it needs to be on here because there's so few sites on the internet that are good. I'm really kind of sad and ashamed of the medical profession to see how many people are up on the internet lying to you guys. And the sad reality is nobody cares about the pros. Because the pros, you have no money. All you can do to a doctor is say thank you, okay? And that's nice, and we really appreciate that. And the reason we went into medicine is because I remember those shows like when I was a kid, Marcus Welby, people having conversations and helping each other. That was good. Real modern conventional medicine in the Western world is primarily like a factory. It's like an assembly line. And basically you have to generate as many billing codes as fast as possible to feed the beast, if you will. Okay, the healthiest diet in the world is low fat, 100% vegan, 100% whole foods, only single ingredient foods, because if you put more than one ingredient, they can add things to that second ingredient. Only organic if possible. I realize you don't have to always eat organic, but when possible, especially if it's something that has a tendency to be sprayed. No oils. And also another thing, people sometimes say, well, what about this channel? What about this paper? And I can tell you, if anybody disagrees with that, then I disagree with them. Okay, there's other schools. Most vegans are not low-fat vegans. Most vegans are intermediate to high-fat. If they're telling you to take omega-3 oils or olive oil, all this stuff, then they're really a different school. I recommend like Esselstyn, no nuts, no seeds, just because they're high-fat. You take a bunch of animals. If you want to cause atherosclerosis, you feed them eggs. For example, if you want to cause diabetes, you feed them high-fat diets, especially saturated fat. If you want to make them fat, you feed them food with a lot of MSG on it because it tastes so good. They'll overeat the stuff. And you can see, look at epidemiology. You take a population like the Nauru, the people on the island of Nauru, which briefly was the richest country in the world, and they were all skinny. Then they started eating processed food because they gave their land away for phosphate mining, and now they're the fattest country in the world. Okay, we talk a lot about estrogenic chemicals and endocrinology type stuff. What's unique about this channel? If you want useful information, the best place to go, like let's say you or somebody in your family is sick, somebody you care about is sick, just go to the playlist, like for obesity, diabetes, hypertension, cancer, autoimmune disease. Also one thing I'll tell you about the shorts. Now the shorts, I don't make them. There's a viewer who makes them for me, and that's very nice of them. And I think that's good for the channel in the sense that I think the shorts are kind of stupid. They're almost cringeworthy at times. It'll be my voice, but all these kind of what I would consider quite often sort of stupid pictures. But the reason why do I show them? People say, well, if you think they stink, why do you show them? Well, because people watch them. Okay, I'll make what I would consider the best video in the whole world on a topic, and I'll get 300 views, okay? Then I'll post a short, and there'll be silly things, why do women have big butts? or stuff like that, and also medical nutritional topics, and we'll get thousands of views. Okay, so it's a chance for people to find out about this channel. All right, what's unique about this channel compared to most other health channels? The usual way to look at the vegan diet amongst the better nutrition doctors or experts is typically going to be what's good for the heart. And what they're going to say is if it's good for the heart, it's good for the brain. And, that's true, but it's a simplistic way of looking at things, in my opinion, because I'm primarily a brain doctor, and the brain is much more fussy. With the brain, you have to pay attention to the effects of stimulants. You have to pay attention to, in a big way, to mitochondrial inhibitors, to toxicology, to SERCA inhibitors, to all these excitotoxins. So I spend a lot of time going into all that stuff, and no one else really does it. I have the best theory in the whole world for dementia. The two best theories for dementia are the Jack Delatory theory, mouse equivalents, tying off the carotid, the cerebral hypoperfusion theory of dementia, and then my theory, neurovascular uncoupling. So, of course, I'll go over that, and I go over that in plenty of detail in lectures. There's a lot of videos here. There's about over 1,700 videos. And I would say, probably, I don't know what exact number, maybe about 400 of them are, the shorts, little quick, quickies. But the rest of them, there's a lot of long, detailed videos, okay? And I sometimes been interviewed at other channels where I have these long, detailed lectures. Okay, lectures. Also, the other thing, too, is if you look at the audience, most of the time people are trying to reach as big an audience as possible, and their lectures are what I would consider really dumbed down. Okay, the average American IQ is probably on 95 or something like that. So they're kind of at that level, like TV or something. And then, McDougall talks, sort of like to the intelligent layperson, IQ of 110, about the average IQ of a four-year college graduate. Mine's going to be more complicated than that. It's usually in the range of about 120 to 130. And sort of where that comes from is I'm a conventional doctor. I used to be an imaging guided surgeon, interventional radiologist, but now I work primarily as a neuroradiologist. So I still do some interventional, I still do general. But, and I also have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I'm a little frustrated that conventional medicine doesn't want to hear this stuff. Lots of individual conventional doctors love to hear this stuff. And they're asking questions all the time. But conventional medicine itself, it has no interest in this stuff because it's not profitable. Conventional medicine is all about selling drugs. Mass yielded a pill and send a bill, and selling surgeries and stuff like that. That's where the money is. Okay, so it's almost like there's nothing to do for a real smart person in medicine. Because, you just do your conventional Western job where you generate billing codes to make money and go by the standard of care. And there's no interest in anything beyond that. Believe me, if you think there is, you don't know much about it, okay? There really isn't. So that's why I'm on the internet. At least there's some on the internet. So anyways, if you have any questions or anything, you can, write a comment. I try to check those almost daily. I check my email a couple times a week, and I'll try to answer stuff. So if you got something, I prefer them in the comments because that's the easiest way for me to handle stuff. But if you have something that you want to ask me in an email, you can send me an email as well. I have a newsletter that I've kind of neglected for a while, but I do intend to restart that up in the not too distant future. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the channel, and there it is.